This is Stranger Than Fiction News, broadcasting live from the dark side of the planet. How's everybody doing out there? We're broadcasting on 5G Genocide right now for the last time. Starting tomorrow, we should be back on the regular channel. So we just want to have some fun with the regulars out there. You don't mind if we have a little fun with you, do you? Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on at your location? Still locked down? Still confined? Still a prisoner? Are you? Still watching the TV? Wondering when you can get some of your rights back? Ooh, I see Dudicus Maximus out there. Beverly, what's going on? Paul? Bloodwealth. What is happening out there? Warrior 14, Jake. What you doing? We got news to cover. Lots of news. Crazy news. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to want to believe it. But it's what we've been saying since the beginning. It's airborne AIDS. It's going to be with people forever. And what we're about to show you is going to freak you out. You'll never be the same again. But before we get there, we got more news to cover. At least 13,000 hero soldiers left homeless after leaving the military. Military charities said the shameful figure is a record high, and the government is failing those who risk their lives for country. This is a British guy, but it's the same thing in our homeland, ladies and gentlemen. The homeland. Such a post 9/11 word. But yes, we are failing those that served our country, just like we're failing the citizens day after day. You think it's an accident? You think this catastrophe, you think what's going on out there is an accident? It's by design. They need you in misery. They need you starving. They need you searching for the cure because they got it. It's the problem, reaction, solution paradigm. They got it. They own the food supply, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that? Did you know they own the food supply? The citizens of the United States may always say, "We reserve the right to do what we please." Quote James Wilson, 1787. Should check out that 10th Amendment Center. Know your Bill of Rights. Know your rights and take them literally. Don't let them steal it from you, ladies and gentlemen. We do not need to explain why we should be allowed to keep our weapons used by the military. We don't need to explain why our rights exist. They're there to protect us. We don't need to make up excuses. This is who we are. Freedom, bitches, not communism. Do you know the difference? An elective despotism was not what the people fought for. A timeless reminder from Richard Henry Lee in a letter to Samuel Adams dated October 5th, 1787. Elective despotism. That's what we have right now. Two parties in control of everything. Does this guy look like an alien or what? Check it out on our website, stfnreport.com, bitches. Of course, the bitches isn't in the web address. It's just stfnreport.com. And yet, the self-congratulations and sanctimonious scoldings of South Dakota will continue. Turns out, most of the outbreak in America is from the New York strain, but that doesn't make sense because it all came crashing through the West Coast, home of Bill Gates and Silicon Valley, but they didn't get touched. Oh no, it's another 9/11. It's another New York attack. and it spread. The New York strain spread from the East Coast to the West Coast. That looks like the trajectory according to the official results. But China is to the west, ladies and gentlemen. They're saying, oh, it went from China to Europe to America. When there were boatloads of people flying into Hawaii, that's where Zuckerberg has his home. Boatloads of people flying into San Francisco. That's really the gateway. Did you know that? That's really the gateway to Asia. It's Seattle and San Francisco. But look, they're not affected. Another form of censorship, light on Twitter. It's more than light. Trying to block the viewing of Dr. Judy Mikovits' interview in the Plandemic movie. It was bombshell. It was explosive. It was very damning. And ScrewTube and Twitter, on cue, shutting it down like the communists that they are. They are hardcore communist sympathizers. Remember those hearings, those American hearings, that they were like, have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? The McCarthy hearings? You know all about it. Now, the socialists and the communists of today try to demonize that moment in history. They're like, oh, do you see how they're treating us? They're calling us communists just because we love China. And just to think the idea of two men plowing each other, and that's what they're teaching kids in schools. Look, there needs to be an end to this liberalism, this disease. We've said it before. We've been banned for it too, but we make no apologies. This is not America anymore. This is some kind of like hell on earth brought to you by, the Luciferians in Silicon Valley and Pedo Wood and the like. And free speech not allowed. They they can't compete with a statement like that. So what do? They're like, deplatforming works, bitches. Oh, really? You want to silence us? Is that what you want to do? We'll see you at the Capitol, bitches. We'll fucking see you there. And those towers, they're gonna fucking burn too. Look, we don't know why they're burning. But we know they're burning, bitches. The wiring just goes up. The flames move up the rope, bitches. What do you think about that? Look at the size of this Death Tower. And they're like, oh, it's completely safe. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? You must be out of your minds. And there's like an army of doctors, professors, researchers, PhDs, MDs, the works that are like, stop the 5G in every country on the planet. And they're like, oh, it's a bunch of crackpots that want to stop the 5G. Who's got the financial incentive here? You think there's a conflict of interest? Oh, they don't want to talk about that shit. They just want to say, oh, he's just crazy. He's just crazy. He doesn't think that's normal. Look at the size of it. It looks like a big fucking dildo. Oh, they love it. Oh, they fucking love it. And if they could paint it up like a huge obelisk and paint 322 on it, they'd fucking do it too out there in Bohemian Grove. Bunch of what. Trying to keep it clean. Trying to keep the language clean. I don't usually talk like this. But you start talking, you start showing me New World Order, and I lose my fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking no. But you should really be saying yes. Wow, great post by Toby Rogers. Fauci's dismissal of hydroxychloroquine. Now, just getting back to this thing, pandemic, man, that they're censoring and everything. Like, she details how Fauci not only released this virus, but he released the weaponized Ebola in West Africa. Ooh, it's so juicy. I mean, it's bad. It's real bad. And they don't want you to see it, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta see it. We got the videos. There's mirrors, but they're taking it down as fast as they can. And this is a virologist. This isn't like, some run-of-the-mill. This is a virologist that worked with Fauci that's like, oh, these people are fucking whacked. You know what I mean? And pardon the language. But this is bad. It's real bad. Fauci has disappeared, you know? 2005 virology journal study of 4 researchers at the CDC titled Chloroquine is a potent inhibitor of SARS coronavirus infection and spread. Wow. 2005, after the SARS epidemic, they're like, yeah, this stuff works. That's why they went to it. And then you got Fauci like, no. And this is like a government document, you know? They're like, no. No, drink the fluoride. You know? What do you do with people like that? You know, you can't reason with stupid. You can't argue with crazy. You don't understand why crazy people do what they do. There's no arguing with it. You just get out of the way and try to, you know, confine them, arrest them, dispose of them the best you can. Dr. Judy Mikovits' book, Plague of Corruption, is a #1 bestseller on Amazon, and they want to censor this girl. She's got a story to tell. She went through hell and back because of this system, and it's much like what they've done to a lot of other people. You know, Kent Hovind, that story always comes to mind. What they did to him, and you know, many other people. You saw how they, you know, dragged the Bundys through hell and back. You know, just hardcore, you know, weaponized justice system. It's not just a kangaroo court. It's not just a system that's been co-opted. I mean, they are weaponizing it against patriots and conservatives and non-communists. And they're calling everybody that's not a communist a Nazi. And they're just justifying their hatred and their delusions that way. And it's really sad watching people repeat it. But they're all repeating it with the same lisp. You know the accent. You know a libtard right away just by the way they talk. You know? You know, they used to call that a certain type of radar. Now you can't say that no more. 77 mobile cell towers have reportedly been burned down in the UK. Look at that. Just in the UK, I mean, up in smoke. And of course, it's a little more difficult in the city, according to experts. So the ones outside of the cities are getting smoked. And I'll tell you what, if the libtards want to sit there and breathe that shit in, fuck them. You know, but the rest of the country has a decision to make. Do you want a death tower in your neighborhood? Ladies and gentlemen, look, he's being attacked by the eagle. Look at that. Forever virus, here it is. Military Times. We finally got to it. And nobody, like, you know, nobody picked up on this. Fucking sheeple out there. You know what I mean? It's sad. Sad but true. Let's see if we can blow this up. Military Times. Very credible publication. See if we can think. Is it happening? Not happening. They just do not want to cooperate with this bombshell. Watch it bounce. Watch it bounce right now. I'm going to continue recording. Even if it bounces, I'll re-upload this if you guys get disconnected from this bombshell report. And I'm going to have to read it to you. But it's on our website right now. And you really need to hear what they're saying. And it's basically this. Those that have tested positive for COVID-19 are no longer eligible for military service even after they completely recover. During the screening process, a reported history of confirmed COVID-19 will be considered permanently disqualifying. That is the new jargon. Let's see if we can not get shadow banned, not get California'd. But what they're saying here is that people that have ever had coronavirus are permanently disqualified. Why would they be completely disqualified if they recover? Why? Because they don't recover. That's in essence what they're saying. Now, we're going to have to find the actual sentence here. but it's in there, supposedly. And what they're saying is that people spreading the disease. So you have to wonder what happens to those that have tested positive. Are they going to get put into a special division? Are they going to get phased out? But according to a MEPCOM, let's read the article from Military Times, and maybe we'll find you a video, because this is half-assed right now thanks to the video guy, and we're not getting cooperation. All right, you can watch the dancing queens at the hospitals. But it's saying here, a past COVID diagnosis is a no-go for processing, according to a recently released MEPCOM memo circulating on Twitter. During the medical history interview of examination, a history of COVID-19 confirmed by either a laboratory or clinical diagnosis is permanently disqualifying, the memo reads. So there it is. Permanently disqualifying if you've ever been diagnosed with COVID-19. And that's why, they want to get the list. They want everybody testing. And guess what? Nobody went, because nobody wants to be on that list. People aren't that stupid. Here, come get tested so we can put you on our list. Fuck that. You know what I mean? So you can send the goon squads? No, thanks. But look, shit, anyone ever, it's a forever virus. So this is truly something else. What do you guys think about that? Is anybody out there? Has this been totally disconnected? Have we lost you guys? Is the audio, is the music too loud? Kind of feels a little loud. It looks like, the flu shot. I'm so glad you brought that up, because they're saying in this pandemic movie, according to the virologist, that the people in Italy got a flu shot with like the dog from a dog cell line, and it had H1N1. It was known to be super toxic among virologists, the nerds that know. And all of a sudden, they're starting to paint a picture linking flu vaccines to the serious onsets. Now, is that the case? You'll never know, because these fuckers will censor everything. So this is our main page right now, STFN Reloaded. If you guys are on Facebook, we would appreciate you guys coming to our page and sharing into your groups. Check it out. We're broadcasting live right now on the ScrewTube. And of course, the Matrix is always trying to interfere. But we've got to work through proxy on Facebook. Big shout out to our administrative Marie out there. She makes the fake book happen for the time being. But we'd like to see other people mirror. And it goes out there, man. People love this stuff. And the New World Order hates it. So do your friends and neighbors a favor. Share our content. But yeah, these cell towers, man. People are just lighting that shit up. You don't know why. But, it's not just the 5G that's toxic. They try to make it a big deal now. They're like, oh, they got the wrong tower. They got the 4G. Oh, no, bitches. That shit's bad, too. Real bad. And you'd know if you had a meter. You know what I mean? Check out the MF390. We got it on the website, stfnreport.com. Oh, she's everywhere now. The fashion model extraordinaire. You believe her, don't you? She's much more believable than Trump. You'd believe anything she says, wouldn't you guys? Yes, you would. That's hypnosis. We got the video. You got to see it. Dr. Fauci, ex-employee Judy Mikovits speaks out about the pandemic, and it's bombshell. It's really bombshell. And they're trying to censor it everywhere. So you guys got to go check that out. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has renewed his criticism of China. Oh, yeah, well, look, they booted up this virus. They played their part. The United States let it in. Everybody's to blame here, but they're going to keep you busy with the rhetoric, And look, there's plenty of blame there. They need to basically arrest these people. But we've got such a corrupt FBI, such a non-existent federal justice system. It should not even exist. It's been weaponized. In any case, there's a huge picture being painted right now of the Fauci Gates involvement in this virus. And you got to check out the Event 201, the Crimson Contagion. You've got to check out all of that stuff, the Wuhan Games. We're getting new reports of athletes that say that they were contaminated at those games. So we're starting to get that on the record, but still yet to verify. What would that mean? There's a lot left to be uncovered, but the walls are closing in on Fauci. There's a lot of damning evidence, and this fucker just disappeared. Did somebody ghost him? What's going on with Fauci? Where is that dude? Factbox. What to know about Fakebook's content oversight board? They're setting up their own little Supreme Court, and their group of libtards is going to make it seem like, whatever they say is official, right? So this is hardcore corporate technocracy, fascism at its core. It's F for fascism. It's not Fakebook anymore. It's fascism. And you know what? I really want to save this to make a meme out of it later. It's fascism, ladies and gentlemen. Clinton Foundation to create a national goon squad. So you saw that coming. And this is basically the one of the stories that are running in the foreign press right now. And it's like the Chinese Operation Mockingbird, or is it? And you can see France with the little Chinese thing there, letters. And they're saying, these athletes were contaminated with the Wuhan virus back in Wuhan in October of 2019. Now, is that Operation Mockingbird, or is that real? That needs to be verified. And a lot of things need to be verified. But we're getting reports that, the Defense Intelligence Agency was warning the White House in November of an outbreak raging in Wuhan. They knew in November. And why did it take them till the end of January to begin locking things down? Because they wanted everyone to get infected. And the whole NATO crew was on board. They were like, oh yeah, you don't need a mask. Just wash your hands. It's like every pneumonia is an airborne virus, and they're like, or is an airborne infection. And they're like, you don't need no mask. Just wash your hands, breathe it in. Right? And they're telling people to lock down. The hospitals are empty. There's a lot of questions, but we know that the outbreak really hit December, January, right in the middle of flu season. So there's really no telling how many people. But now it's the forever virus, and people are going to start breaking down, going from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 in groups or echelons, probably activated by death powers, but who knows? And it's going to seem like the perpetual outbreak. But this thing is going to get worse and worse. And right now they're strangling the food supply. They're orchestrating outbreaks at food processing plants to make it seem like, oh, there's a food shortage. You need us if you want to eat. You know what I mean? This system has got to go. They've tried to kill you. We need the Boogaloo. July 4th, 2020, ladies and gentlemen. It's Independence Day, and if you don't do it, you'll live to regret it, guaranteed. Crown Castle Monopole site is the latest victim in Memphis, Tennessee, bitches. What do you want to know about that? If you have some information, be sure to call Crime Stoppers. That's what they're saying. And look, you just got to know that they're going to be looking for people that are, trying to disrupt their beast system. And so, people are advised to scope out the location, the routes in and out, because they'll probably be trying to follow you with all sorts of, Ring cameras and the like. So, You can never be too careful these days. Somebody is always watching. Oh, and the cell phones, man. Don't get pinged right next to the fucking tower. Mystery as Chinese coronavirus researcher 37 at University of Pittsburgh is killed in quote-unquote murder-suicide while on the verge of significant findings. And, how many homeopathic doctors and specialists were killed? Remember, there was a lot of those mysterious deaths, and people were doing videos on them, and they're like, I wonder why. And what we're finding out is it's just like the movie Contagion. The plant may cure it. Natural remedies may cure this disease. And this disease follows the inflammation route and the cytokine storm route like you couldn't believe. And, managing inflammation with plants is probably the best strategy out there with the least amount of side effects. But, everybody's got to kind of have to research that for themselves. Like turmeric and other herbs and spices and plants. We had a list. It's on the other page. We'll get back to it. Cell towers are just getting smoked, ladies and gentlemen. And what else can we say? Whistleblower complaint from doctor formerly leading U.S. coronavirus vaccine effort alleges HHS operated on cronyism. Now, that's from a libtard publication, and the Plandemic documentary is pretty much saying the same thing. Look, there's just too many red flags here to ignore, and I don't know what these people at the FBI are doing other than spying on patriots, but why don't they fucking do their job and go after this new world order instead of being a bunch of shills? You want respect? Fucking earn it instead of bitching about it. You know what I mean? Anybody can bitch, but you got to do the work if you want to. If you want our respect, ladies and gentlemen. U.S. failed to prepare, sought quick virus fix. They didn't fail to prepare. They sabotaged the whole fucking thing so you didn't even have a chance. That's how much they love you. So what else can you say, really? And there's just a huge track record of Gladio B events here. But this is fully orchestrated. They want to control you with fear. And that's what they want. They want to control you with fear. And they're going to do so with, vaccines and, health passports and the like. And tracking applications. Oh, they're going to strike fear into most people out there with their propaganda. And it's best to call them out. And it's best to depose of a system that would infect you with their fucking virus. I mean, if that's the system, they got to go. If they're going to fluoridate you, they got to go. If they're going to irradiate you, they got to go. Because they're choosing, financial gain versus, safety. And if business is becoming who can kill the most people and make the most money, that's not going to be productive for anyone in the long term. So you might say, oh, well, what are we going to eat if there's no business? Right? That's not the only argument. And we certainly can find a solution that allows us to be productive without killing a bunch of fucking people, right? So you think the humanists would have figured that stuff out, but they're so demonically possessed right now. They just want to jump off the cliffs like the lemmings or like the pigs in the Gospels. Why do you think the pigs ran off the cliff after, the legion of demons went from the dude to the pigs? They couldn't take it. They snapped. It wasn't the demons that wanted to commit suicide. It's the pigs were like, in such a battle. They were wrestling against spiritual wickedness from heavenly places. Never forget who sent you out there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this,